Welcome to the Market Mystics podcast. I'm Joshua.
I'm Kim. Let's dive in.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to season 3 with the Market Mystics. That's what I was thinking. We needed some air horns or something because that's a big thing. We are on episode 201 of total recording episodes. This is the first episode in season 3. And I think it's going to be like, I'm really looking forward to what this year has. Like,
Me too.
it's pretty exciting. There's some really cool things going on. We have some really cool guests coming up for you guys. And then we need some ideas on who else you guys would like to hear. Like, who else should we reach out to? Like, let us know in the comments. A big thing that we're doing this season, is really pushing some bonus content for people who sign up on members to be a member on YouTube. And so you're going to get we did a book club last year. All of that content is on there as bonus content. We have some projects that we talked about that we're involved in South Africa, and some of the meetings that we do for that stuff is on there as bonus content. Kim and I have recorded just some extra stuff that just our thoughts that's going to be on there. And our first guest that we have coming up for you guys, so I'm not going to spill the beans yet, but it'll be pretty cool. He did a whole probably 30-minute section that's just going to be for members. And so head to YouTube on your desktop, check out any of our videos, and then right below the video, like where you would like it or subscribe to the channel, there's a button that says join. Hit that and you can sign up to be a member, and you can get access to all that bonus content. But I think it'll be pretty fun. Just it gives us a space to put out some of the stuff that didn't really didn't make it into the episode or didn't really fit with the flow of the episode. And so we just want to have a space to continue the conversation, have some deeper thoughts. And it'll be really great. So I'm looking forward to the people who sign up for that. We have a couple people that are there already, but I'm sure there will be more.
Yeah. If you've been with us for a little while, you've probably heard us talk about how sometimes we have these topics. We have a conversation and then we rehab the conversation on the show. Mm-hmm. And with the bonus content, what you'll get is some of that like extra conversation.
Just the raw conversation.
It is. It's the raw conversation. It's like the actual talking back and forth and processing. And sometimes you get that on the episode, and sometimes you get something that we've kind of already processed a little bit, but you'll get some more of the like, I don't know, raw. Here's who we are. Here's what we're really thinking about, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun. So like shifting gears a little bit, if you have if you've been with us, like Kim mentioned, like, the first season was all things crypto and a little splashes of mystic stuff like scattered in there. And season 2 was all about expanding on that, like gaining perspective by talking to other people. And season 3, I think it's kind of cool. You've heard us talk a lot, if you've listened to any of our episodes, about going up and down the mountain. Mm-hmm. Like on the way up, you're shedding stuff, you're going into the state of oneness. And then on the way back down, you're kind of picking up some things that you need to outwork. You're incarnating your body from a heavenly perspective to really outwork things. And I think, like Kim and I have talked about this a little bit. I think that's what season 3 is really going to kind of offer, is what does it look like to have like on earth as it is in heaven? What's it look like to fully incarnate your body from a heavenly perspective and really bring that in a tangible way? And so I think it's kind of neat. Kim, I know you've had some conversations with the Father on this. Do you want to expound on that?
Sure. It was actually just this morning. Um, Josh and I met last week to really dig in, engage, and see what the Lord wanted us to do with season 3. Like, where are we going? Do we need to shift? Do we not need to shift? Is there some big vision we need to have? And it was a bit broad what we
Yeah,
got. Don't you
that's
think?
true. I do.
Like, I don't know that anything was horribly pinpointed in that time. But this morning we were meeting with another group of really great, uh, I guess I would call them mystics. I feel like this word is about to go out. Like, I think we're
Yeah.
almost done with the word mystic, right? But we're meeting with some other people who are on very similar journeys, so aligned in some things, just kind of expanding community. And they were asking us about us. And so we were kind of telling them the story of how we got started. We started by opening this business that the Father was leading us to. It's called Upper Room Capital Development. It all started with crypto trading, and then it turned into, well, now we need a podcast about it, which is why we started podcasting about crypto in season 1. And we sprinkled in some of the mystic stuff. But the way that we were trading was directly through relationship with the Father, right? And that's
Mhm.
why it was market mystics. This is why we're talking about the markets from a mystical standpoint, is because it's all coming out of relationship. Um, so we were giving a little bit of our background with that and kind of the process we've been in. And as we were doing that, I was talking about the time, it was about 3 years ago, that Josh and I individually, but kind of in sync, exited the corporate world, our careers that we had had and were thriving in, um, kind of out of this leading into something new from the Father, and out of the corporate and into more of a self-employment kind of place, right? And we had started this company, Upper Room Capital Development, and it was based on leading from the Father. And he's just continued to expand that in us. Anyway, when I was talking about this, I was talking about kind of how we had to shift from having income, having currency, having capital, having money coming in from being gainfully employed, right? And having that be the source of the money that we had, and shifting into something new and what the Father wanted to show us. And as I was talking about this, nothing I had ever said before, by the way, that was fresh and new to be coming out of my mouth. As I was saying this, I kind of had this moment with the Lord where it's like, okay, zoom out real quick. And he's like, okay, I'm showing you something in this. And it is, I've called you to be upper room capital development. So you've talked about developing capital. And last year, it was all about redefining what is wealth, what is capital.
Mm.
This year, I need you to focus on what is it to be developing that abundance, that capital, that wealth from a place that is the upper room. So the upper room in scripture was this place that the disciples all gathered, right? And these followers, it was an Acts, and it was when the Holy Spirit was poured out, right? It was like, I think it was described as like tongues of fire, like huge, big outpouring. But they were gathered in this room on the earth, and they were tapping into what was in heaven. And it was like the colliding, the coming together, the manifestation of these two dimensions coming together and working in synchronicity. And I think that's what we're really called to be doing this year, is implementing that upper room into what we've been talking about. So it's not just the in heaven part, and it's not just the on earth part. It is both together. How can we have one foot here and one foot there and have these things colliding and working together? Right. And I think maybe this doesn't make any sense, but this is just what the Father was showing me this morning about kind of what we're doing and why. Yeah. Right. So we're still going to be having interviews, but we're going to be looking at it from both angles. Mm-hmm. Like, can we be the bridge? And this is a word that came up so much last year, and now all of a sudden it feels like solid. Can we be this bridge that allows the things to go between, right? And exist in both places, right? So the Brooklyn Bridge exists both in Manhattan and in Brooklyn, right? And it's not something that is only in one place or the other. It connects the two, but it exists in both places. Yeah. And I think that's what we've got to do.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. The imagery that comes to mind, if anybody has watched like the Avengers or the Thor movie.
I knew you were going to bring up Thor.
Yeah, it's like I think they call it the Bifrost, but it's a rainbow bridge that connects Asgard. Well, okay, here, I'll just read you what Wikipedia says. It's a burning rainbow bridge that reaches between Earth and Asgard, the realm of the gods. And so it's like, that's what we're talking about here is like in season 1, I think we spent a lot of time on the as Earth. Mm-hmm. On season 2, we talked a lot about the as in heaven. And in season 3, we're building this rainbow bridge to connect the two. That's kind of what it feels like. Like that feels like the journey of it. And I just think it's really interesting how, like, maybe just because I'm looking for it, I'm seeing that in a bunch of different areas. Like with our business, things have shifted a little bit. With the business that you and Jason run together, like it's shifting a little bit into something new. Bree and I are working on some projects together that are shifting our personal things. Like there is this change that I look at as this connecting of the two realms. Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to be really cool. I have high expectations, and I was just reading this morning, a friend of the show, Mark Wilburn, had posted something on his stuff about the funeral season is coming to a close. And then it said, don't miss the exciting unveiling by overstaying at the funeral. And that's sort of how I feel like about 2024 or about like the new season of our podcast. It's like, not that we were in a funeral season, but we were in a season of like where a lot of things were being stripped away, which sort of felt like death. And it feels like that season's ending. Like it really feels like something is shifting and we're stepping into something with a new mindset. And I know that sounds like super ethereal and not like real definite, but like there's something different about where we're going because it's connecting where we've been, where we just were, and now where we're going. We're creating this connection between the two. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really good.
Yeah. I don't know that I have a whole lot, but I think it's going to be great. I'm really excited for people to check out like the bonus content, the new guests we have coming. We've already recorded one of the guests and you're
gonna love it.
It was great. Yeah, I just think it's going to be, there's something about this connection season. Like when you were talking earlier about like we stepped out of the corporate, in my mind we went from the corporate and now we're going into the community. which sort of sounds the same. Like they both mean a group of people,
Mhm.
but it's not the same.
The heart's different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
it'll be good.
Yeah, I kind of can't wait to see where it's going. Like again, we really dug into this last week,
Mhm.
and this piece that we're sharing right this moment is very new. It is today new, and it like I don't know, it re-energizes the life on it for me, I suppose.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
know, like I was fine after engaging and kind of getting broad things last week, fine moving forward because we didn't get a stop. We didn't get a don't do it. We didn't get a don't move forward. There was none of that.
Mhm.
But now there's like this new spark and it's like ignite the fuel, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I have something for bonus content. Okay, we got to end here because I have something for bonus content.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye. Hey, thanks for listening. Keep up with us along this journey by liking, subscribing, and becoming a member through YouTube.
Members get exclusive access to bonus content with our guests, deeper dives into topics, and a look into other projects. We're glad to have you here. See you next time.